Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Minnesota Mike back with you for another video. This is another one in my vlog series that I do through the Memphis Songwriters Association in conjunction with the blog that I write for them, all about songwriting and what has worked for various artists over the course of a handful of years, whether those songs have been hits or not. So this latest kick that we're on is talking about the art of the medley, and the medley is something in music that is two songs pieced together as one, but they are complete songs, not mashups, and I'll distinguish it from an instrumental suite in my next blog and vlog kick. But we looked at Foreplay a Long Time by Boston, and now we are going to look at Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding by Elton John, with lyrics by Bernie Taupin. So, melodically and structurally, I'm going to kind of talk about these two things together because those are big in medleys. Like Boston's combination of Foreplay Long Time, the opening song to this medley, Funeral for a Friend, is an instrumental. Elton composed the song while thinking about what kind of music he would like played at his funeral. And Funeral for a Friend opens with theatrical sound enhancements that move into a neoclassical section that introduces kind of the elements of pop that we would see in the 1970s. This includes piano and guitar, and moves into a section with Latin overtones, and ultimately moves into Love Lies Bleeding, a pop rock anthem with prominent power guitar sections. There's also a bridge that calls back to the neoclassical feeling of Funeral for a Friend, but the pop rock productions close out the piece. David Henschel, who is the album's engineer, also overdubbed many effects and other Elton John songs to create a funeral-like atmosphere. The songs he overdubbed included The Ballad of Danny Bailey, 1909 to 1934, I've Seen That Movie Too, and Candle in the Wind, all of which appeared on Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, alongside Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding. So lyrically, Love Lies Bleeding, interestingly enough, talks about the end of a relationship using the visual of roses, which have, as the song says, uh, tilted to one side. I say that this is interesting because the song talks about the end of a relationship and the final end of a relationship, which is death. In that, you tend to give the mourners flowers. But in this case, a breakup, the flowers die with it. The second verse, however, switches from the flower metaphors to a very powerful line. I wonder if those changes have left a scar on you, like the burning hoops of fire I jumped through. By all accounts, though, the other person who he's singing to or singing about isn't scarred at all. It's the narrator who seems to be the one that has to clean up the mess. On a side note, I do want to point out that the band Fuel used a similar metaphor, even borrowing the phrase Love Lies Bleeding for their 2000 hit Hemorrhage in My Hands. But you can listen to Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding. It is linked below. As I said at the top, hopefully, medleys have been fascinating for me for a long time, figuring out what makes them work and the transition and the change in the middle of the song. It's just really cool to me. And so I hope that these medleys affect your writing in a positive way. Be sure to check out my blog as well as the vlog. The blog can be found on the Memphis Songwriters Association website. It's pretty much the same stuff, but good to read it. And Joe Matthews also does a great blog over on our website as well, and his is more about composing and music theory and all that good stuff. But I am Minnesota Mike. Thank you so much. You can catch all my other vlogs here on YouTube on my channel, as well as all my videos on Minnesota Mike. Thank you so much. And I also am on Instagram and Facebook if you want to check me out there. I appreciate you watching. Again, I am Minnesota Mike.